Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Scott from Skeletonwitch, and you are watching That One Metal Blog.
Welcome back to That One Metal Blog. I'm Jimmy Wentz. I'm here with Scott from Skeletonwitch. Scott, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, you have about 10 dates left on your Curse of the Dead tour out of your 28 head book. How do you think the tour has been going so far?
The tour has been great so far. I think, I'm obviously biased being a part of the tour, but I feel like we have a really interesting, diverse tour going on. I think there's something for everybody with this lineup, and the turnouts, the amount of people showing up, the coverage of the tour and everything. Also, I think points to it's resonating with people because it's not a typical metal tour where you have 5 death metal bands in a row or something. I love eating pizza, but I don't want to eat it for every meal. So let's diversify a little bit here, and I think we've done that on this tour, and it's being it's bearing out by turnouts and by coverage and everything as well. So it's great.
Since you guys have kind of an extensive catalog so far, I mean, you guys have been around for 13 years.
Yeah.
So
God, I feel so old.
What are some of your favorite songs to play live?
Right now, my favorite one is Red Death, White Light. That's the one we're closing with. It's pretty epic in scope. And the reason is, well, there's many reasons. One is that it's a new track off the EP, The Apocalyptic Gloom, so it's still fresh to us. It's also the longest song we've ever written, so that is also, it's fun to play something that long and really get into it. But, some of our stuff is just such face-ripping, fast, sort of ass-kicking metal, and it flies by so quickly. You can really get into that song, and it has a nice building at the end, where things kind of. I think aesthetically, we've never done anything that sort of builds in that way or is that repetitive, and it's really fun to just get in there. I mean, especially watching Adam do it. For instance, last night in Kansas City, near the end of that song, when he just keeps repeating the same phrase over and over, and he just goes fucking wild. He was rolling around on the stage. He was rolling, diving in the crowd. He always just, it's like the wheels fly off on that song, and it's great to see how it goes every night and get that deep into a song and not have everything just be so fast and change so quickly.
So speaking of Adam, I did see some live footage from your September 21st show, your first show you guys actually let me play with Adam.
Yeah.
How do you think the fans reacted to that, and how do they react to Adam as the new vocalist so far?
As far as that particular show, I think they love it. I think that it being our hometown and Athens sort of nurtured the band and sent us out into the world, unless we do something really extreme, just extremely shitty, they tend to just have our back, so to speak, because those are our people, that's our crowd, that's our venue. They would just welcome Adam with open arms. And on a whole, globally, I guess, as far as Adam joining the band, A, he's doing an incredible job. B, I think people are responding to that and realizing it. I understand that when you have such a drastic change, some people get upset. People fear change, which is it's a natural human thing, and it's unfortunately that people fear change. So mom and dad get divorced. The kids are pissed. I get it. Of course, but I would argue that often change is for the better, and we got to a certain point with this band where I think having Adam and the changes with Adam and a little bit of changes in songwriting and stuff and growth that I think have shown on the EP, I would argue was necessary for the band to continue and keep moving forward and progress artistically, and even just as human beings in a band for 13 years and how much you want to do that. It's a breath of fresh air. So, of course, initially there's a little bit of backlash. I don't like the new guy before they even hear him, before they even see him. That's just to be expected. But now he's now that people have a chance to see him and hear him, and we've really been making the rounds here in North America touring. He's blown people's minds. They're every single night, somebody comes up to the merch table or comes up to me and says, "Oh man, I said some really shitty stuff on your Facebook page when you got the new guy. He was awesome. I wish I could take it back." Cool.
Yeah, I remember when Chance originally left, there was just nothing but negative comments all over your Facebook page. I can't believe he was gone.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you announced Adam, it was does sing shit again. So you, like you said before, said it quite a bit already, you guys have been around for 13 years.
Sure.
What do you think the key is to Skeletonwitch's longevity?
Probably that Nate and I just love to hang out with each other and drink beer. Because we I was telling you earlier, like he and I started this band, and when we decided it's time to finish it at some point, if we want to, then we'll finish it. And so, not that I don't want to devalue anyone's contributions to the songwriting and all the time everyone's put in, because that's we couldn't do it without everybody. And it's more of a democracy than anything. But he and I love doing it. I mean, we still like love touring. We enjoy being out here. We enjoy discovering new bands and bringing them on tour and opening for them and growing the band and traveling to new places. So it's the constant changing. Like every day we're in a new place. We're working on new materials. There's always something happening and stuff going on. But I think that keeps at least me personally excited and interested, because there's always new experiences to be had, whether it's checking out a new band or going to a new restaurant or meeting somebody new that I've never met before. Yeah. It's rad. So it's a kind of a cheeseball answer to say it's all of it.
Yeah.
But like this lifestyle, this traveling, this touring, this creativity is something that just appeals to me. And if tomorrow Nate told me he didn't want to do Skeletonwitch anymore, I'd be bummed. And then I would start another band. Because this is what I love to do.
So, going back to like the newer stuff here, you guys did just release that EP, The Apothic Bloom, on August 19th. Like you said, you're incorporating some of it into this tour and this show tonight.
Yeah.
How do you think the overall response has been so far to the EP and the tracks you guys have laid down?
The response has been great. For example, just out of the blue, Albert, the editor of Decibel, emailed me and said, "Dude, this is the best thing you guys have done yet." I'm way into it. So that meant a lot to me to hear that from a guy who has literally written the book on heavy metal, a couple of books on heavy metal actually. So that was really nice to hear. But critically, it has been doing well. The reviews have been positive, and of course, we're happy to hear that, and happy to see that. But at the same time, we're not doing it for anybody else. We're doing it for ourselves. We're writing the music we want to hear, that we want to exist, and that when I'm writing something or Nate's writing something, we sort of have this thing where when we send each other stuff that we're working on, we want it to give the other one goosebumps or really affect the other one in some way. So that's sort of the challenge. If you listen to something we do and it affects you in some way, some tangible way, and maybe it helps you. Everybody's different with their relationship to music and art and what it does for them. Maybe it inspires you to do something else creatively, or inspires someone to do something in their own life, or maybe it just helps you get through a tough time. Maybe it's just everyone's relationship to it is different, but if it affects you in some way, that's more what we care about than 5 out of 5, like 9 out of 10, and some publication. So there's a weird balance there, but critically it's been received well, and I feel I am proud of it and very happy with how it turned out. And it speaks a little bit to the future of the band and sort of where the band is headed musically.
Speaking of what you do, I mean, the music, like personally, when I am going to interview bands, I don't interview bands. That's just my thing, because when I started this whole thing, it was so I could interview bands that I like, actually get to know them and show the world who they are and give them some publicity. I think music is definitely one of those things that if you don't love it, don't even bother doing anything with it, because that's definitely what it is. While it is a business, it's definitely a big passion through the thing as well.
I couldn't agree with you more. One of the saddest things that I see, and I see it with some regularity, is a band clearly doesn't enjoy what they're doing anymore, but they've done it for long enough that they feel like maybe there's money rolling in, maybe there's momentum behind it, and they're scared of not doing it. So they have this miserable existence where they just drag themselves around the US and Europe for that money and loathe each other, loathe what they're doing. They get up on stage and pretend everything's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. It's a bummer. So I'm with you, man. Especially metal. It's a small community. It's a small scene. No one, with the exception of a very small few, people are not getting wealthy off of metal. So you gotta really like it. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for some extreme disappointment and probably failure.
I won't convey Metallica. Speaking of those bands that are just like going along, I actually, not a metal band, but it's a rock band. I'm sure you've heard of Trey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I went to work this year and they lip synced on stage.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, because they knew there was Miami Made, all their radio-friendly band, but...
They didn't want to be there?
They didn't want to be there, they didn't even, give a stage performance, they were just kind of standing behind the microphone and going along.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
It's like going to the zoo and watching an animal trapped in a cage. It's like, we just have to do this. We're stuck here. We just can't get out of this. And now we have to, do this shit for these people because that's what they expect us to do, or they're just, they're sitting there staring at us while we, do our thing.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I just don't. I think if you're gonna have a lip sync, you just might as well not go on the stage. I can understand maybe if let's just say you're completely dead or something like that. Maybe.
Literally dead.
Seriously, cancel the show if that's the case.
Yeah. Perfectionism is one thing, but not actually doing it yourself. So the track does it is a whole other
exactly.
deal.
Yeah. Not having your instruments plugged into the stage very obviously.
Yeah. They did.
No.
Oh, it was everything. It was not just the vocals. It was
everything.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know. I might as well have just stayed at home. I didn't go there for them, but it's I'm not going to bother watching.
That also to me, again, everybody's relationship to music and art is different, but as far as live music performance goes, that's if that's true, and that's what they did. That's the antithesis of why I go to see a band. Sometimes we'll beat ourselves up because we hit a wrong note or messed up on stage, and I sometimes have to take a step back and think, you know what, this is not a recital. Mm-hmm. We're not playing at we're not a symphony orchestra, so it's not like people are giving us marks on how many correct notes we hit. But B, why would we want to just if everything's going to be sterilely tight and pristine and perfect? Then why don't we just sit down in chairs? Why don't we just, we're doing a live show, so for me, there will be mistakes because there's energy and you're moving around and you're excited. And it's happening in the moment. If you just want to hear the record, the band just play the fucking record while they stand there and mimic it. It's so weird. It takes that is an anti-live performance because you're.
If
that's
you're
the
not
point. I want to see how it sounds differently.
Yeah.
From the studio live, I want them to make mistakes. I want them to go wild. I grew up on the hip hop and the Stooges. That kind of wild rock and roll. That's awesome. It doesn't need to be perfect. And what a bummer to go see a band and then have them play their album basically over the PA and pretend to feign to play along.
I've seen bands that do the complete opposite and completely kill what their recording stuff is. You guys are pretty fucking solid live, and when I went and saw bands Every Time I Die and a band called Cancer Bats, especially Cancer Bats because they sound a lot more like a rock band on their albums, but the moment you go see them live, you're holy shit, this is an actual metal show. Yeah. And it's just.
I've never seen those guys.
Yeah, they don't play too much. They're out of Canada.
Yeah. I'm aware of them, but I've just never caught them.
Yeah, they don't play any small cities, usually big cities or big U.S. tours. So going back to the whole new album with Adam and everything that, since obviously losing Chance was kind of I know that you and Scott. Yes, this is Scott.
Yeah. No,
you and Nate, you guys handled basically all of the writing for the music and everything like that. And I've seen in previous interviews you said that Chance didn't really do too much lyrically.
Yeah, he
did.
No, he was the lyric. Okay. He came up with all the lyrics in the song titles. Yeah.
Okay. Let's scratch this out.
No, it's okay. No, he did. It's fine. Chance did write all the lyrics and the song titles. That was his contribution, and then of course where the vocals fell and everything. I certainly don't want to downplay what he did, but that was all him.
Okay.
Totally. So with Adam, it was when he joined, it was definitely, I'm sure that had to be tough. And it was hey man, I'll get in there and write some lyrics if you want, but he I wasn't sure how he would approach it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, or how are we going to do this? Because I've never written with you guys, and he. Unfortunately, he just was no, I got this. I appreciate it, but I got this. I'm good. Because I don't know if you guys really want me to write lyrics. I don't know how that would turn out.
I think you know your instrument in that area.
I'm much better of a guitar player than I am a singer for sure. I can't sing to save my life, and also a lyricist.
Yeah. That's why I do interviews, people.
Yeah.
But, well, going on to instrumental then, since you guys didn't really have any of the lyric writing process with him, how do you think that Skeletonwitch is going to progress instrumentally then with Adam as vocalist? Are you guys going to go more towards his kind of style, or are you going to go with that same Skeletonwitch style that you guys are really known for? I mean, you guys do kind of jump all over the board a little bit.
We do.
What genre of metal you are jumping into?
Yeah.
Where do you see the future kind of leaning more towards?
Well, I think that's a complicated question, but I think a song like Red Death, White Light on the end of the EP, that's a good indication, at least as far as my writing style goes. Because like you said, Nate and I are both writing, and his style tends to be, because in the past, I mean, he was the main songwriter. I mean, he wrote, 80%, 90% of the album Permafrost. He was. I would throw him ideas and riffs, and he's a much better composer. And I had ideas and things that I would just throw in this melange of stuff and be like, hey, can you do anything with this? Or here's like a minute of a song all strung together. I don't know where to go from here. Like, take this debris, Nate, make sense of it. That's what he's really good at. So he did that. I mean, that was the extent of my contribution, was just detritus and just stuff thrown at him. And then he would come to the table with all these songs already written and make sense of my stuff. And he was the dude. And as time progressed, like Serpents Unleashed, I started contributing more and writing entire songs, and sort of came into my own and sort of just learned how to actually write a song. And the Skeletonwitch song at that, which might sound weird, but I learned how to carry my thought from beginning to end and sort of compose myself, and not just have to rely on him to sort of tie up the loose ends. So, to answer your question, he has been the creative force from day one, like contributing way more material. So moving forward, you will see some stuff from me that's going to be like Red Death, White Light, which is a little more cinematic in scope, longer. I tend to put in a lot of melody, make the songs maybe overly grandiose at times, like kind of ridiculous over the top. And he's a more meat and potatoes, like kick your ass, in and out, like short songwriter. So I think the fact that he's like allowing me to contribute more and is relinquished a little bit of control in that area as far as like, hey, this is really good. It was weird at first, but now that I've gotten acquainted with what you're doing, like, this is becoming more of our sound as well. So there's going to be a nice balance between, like Permafrost Breathing the Fire or Forever Abomination type stuff, and then Serpents Unleashed and the EP stuff, which is starting to get more expansive. So we'll see where it goes. Once we get in the thick of writing the next record, that what we start writing will sort of pull us in one direction or another. It's good to have some ideas of where you want to go and be a thoughtful person and it's not just randomly just throw shit at the wall. I mean, I have some ideas of stylistically of where I'd like to go, but once I actually sit down and start writing stuff and listening back to it and getting in that mode, sometimes you just get pulled in a different direction. And it's very likely I could get sucked into some sound or aesthetic or avenue of what we do, and it'll end up being more death metal and more black metal, those stupid terms on it. So once you get down the wormhole, you never know. Like, all of a sudden you look back and you're like, holy shit, this album's written and this is where it went. I didn't really suspect that, but here we are.
Yeah. Speaking about like your writing and whatnot, I know in previous interviews you've said that after you guys get out on the road, you're planning on getting back into the studio and starting doing full length.
Yeah, it'll be a little time before we get into the studio, but we got a lot of writing.
At some point, yeah. Is there any you got any concepts or ideas for the album right now? I mean, what do you think, what way you're gonna go with the new album? Are you gonna do something similar to the Apothic Gloom, or?
I think it's too early to say. I think that I think the Apothic Gloom is a good indication of where Skeletonwitch is going. I think with the addition of Adam, it was a good time to maybe. I mean, not that we did anything that drastically different. Yeah. But at the same time, there are notable stylistic changes. I mean, just this, like, the song length alone is something you wouldn't have seen on an older Skeletonwitch record. So there are very, acknowledgeable changes aesthetically with like the length of the songs, some of the layering of the guitars, some of the extra ambience that we put on there. So I think that's a good indication that the band's growing and morphing into something maybe a little less, how do I say this? A little less like pizza party thrash, like like young kid, angsty, you know, still figuring your shit out. To like we're getting older, we're doing this for 13 years. You know, we can take it a little more seriously while still realizing, you know, it's heavy metal. There's a balance between like self-parody and realizing like the ridiculousness of the metal genre. You know? And I feel like in the past, some of the stuff we did, you know, was a product of our ages and where we were at as human beings and as a band. And so there you get it. You get some pretty ridiculous slogans, kind of ridiculous T-shirt art and stuff. That's fun and it's cool when we're younger. But now I look back at it, I'm like, and that had its place in time. And now as where we're at now seems a little more. God, I don't want to use the word sophisticated. I really don't. So mature. Well, there's a little distinction.
So kind of going back to the fact that you have been on the road for 13 years, what do you think your worst road experience has ever been?
Oh God.
I mean, I'm sure you've had quite a few because everyone has had.
Yeah. Well, that's really tough. The worst. I mean, man, everyone's had some bad like. Everybody that's ever toured has had some like harrowing bathroom experiences, a lack of access to one. I think everyone's had, you know, just been grinded to like nothing from lack of sleep. And I can't think of one that's just exceptionally insane that they're like really stuck with me. It's like haunts me.
There's no drinking your own during like the Black Dahlia?
No. Didn't I mention that? No. You know, for me, there hasn't been like a shocking moment, I don't think. I mean, there are a couple of things I can think of that are quite funny, and I guess, you know what, they'd probably be shocking to like the average person.
Yeah.
Not shocking to somebody on tour, but I don't want to incriminate myself or anybody else on camera, so I'm sorry, I got nothing. It's too.
We're stateside.
What's that?
So we're stateside right now, so we can't do it in the U.S.
Exactly.
Going back to you guys' styles, what would you say like 3 metal bands that influence you, and are there any like non-metal bands that influence your styles? There's more
non-metal than metal, or just as many for sure. But metal bands, I'll speak for myself, not the whole band, the whole sound, but Judas Priest for sure. Like Tipton and Downing, and of course Alfred Evans, but as guitar players, Tipton and Downing, holy shit, incredible. Sherman and Denner from Merciful Fate, Chuck from Death, of course. Those are probably 3 of my favorite metal bands. As a guitar player, non-metal. There's so much stuff. One of my desert island records for sure would be Television's Marquee Moon. I love John Fahey like immensely. I'm a massive John Fahey fan. He developed a style that's come to be known as American primitive guitar. Weird description, but he was a solo acoustic instrumental guitar player. Phenomenal. Check him out if you guys haven't. If you don't know who he is an American treasure, and he still doesn't get the claim he deserves. Let's see what else. I listen to a fair amount of world music. Let's see. On this tour, I've ended up listening to. I was talking to Oathbreaker about this. Someone that we both love. An electronic musician named Tim Hecker. Incredible stuff. It's really, really good. And there's a lot to it. I mean, some of it's really harsh, noisy kind of stuff. Some of it's really pretty ambient stuff. But anyway, that's something that has lately been influencing me quite a bit. Let's see what else. There's a great album by $75 Bill. It's really cool. Check that out if you guys have it. And this is a metal blog, so you probably have it. No offense. What else? Oh man, so much stuff. I mean, my favorite shit of all time too, going back, old stuff is the early Detroit rock and roll, the Stooges, the MC5. I love early Alice Cooper. That stuff's great. one of my favorite, like more modern rock and roll bands is the Helicopters, band from Sweden, fantastic band. That's how I kind of learned how to play guitar solos.
Yeah.
Being a little kid and playing like Helicopters songs, and so much stuff. What's some non-metal stuff that you like?
Well, I actually did see a really interesting non-metal act that was actually part of Ghost. I know you guys did.
Who they have?
Yeah. Carpenter Group. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, because apparently they're like really popular overseas, but over here, I mean, they're completely unknown. I'm pretty sure that's like either their first or one of their very first ever U.S. tours.
Yeah.
But they don't have a vocalist. They got a guitarist, a drummer who's center stage and does the majority of like everything, and then they have a DJ, and then they play basically torture porn on a screen behind them.
That seems kind of like a cheap shot, but
No, but I'm being serious. Like, I mean.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like a cheap shot to try to be shocking.
Yeah.
Are they German?
I think they are actually. They're either German or
that
French.
was a cheap shot on my part.
They're German or French, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like it was like all of their music was like the like movie trailer kind of like music. Like they would make movie trailers for basically torture porn, like I said.
Interesting. Okay.
And then so like you'd have like muscle cars, like 70s muscle cars, and guys with guns, and all of a sudden there'd be tits on the screen, and then all of a sudden there's a guy cutting open this chick's chest, and there's blood going everywhere, and ripping out organs, and then there's 80s like girls in 80s aerobics clothing doing aerobics, and it starts killing them.
Interesting.
Someone gets strapped and they cut out their brain, and like
so they're pulling all kinds. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're trying to be kind of like. Well, I mean, I know that's their style, but I think Ghost kind of got them just because that's like they try to go for that little tongue-in-cheek thing, the satanic cult aspect, and maybe they were just going like, oh, let's get someone else's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but they definitely should have made that show all ages.
They should get if they they shouldn't have.
They should not have. They would be and if anyone's kids didn't know the Birds and the Bees, Papa taught that to them that night too.
That sounds like it was more than the Birds and the Bees.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he was like, when a mommy bear and a daddy bear love each other very much, they.
I thought you meant you taught him just because of he had.
Oh no! Like he taught them.
Like
literally, he gave a whole speech right
Interesting.
before Monstrous Clock then.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
And everything like that.
Yeah, I think they do when we played with them as well. Oh, one last band, not son of band, but Nick Cave, one of my favorite artists of all time. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Sounds really familiar. Are they from are they in the States?
No, he's from Australia. He's been putting out music and art and even some literature since the early '80s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. One of my favorite artists of all time. So I got to include that.
We'll talk a little bit after.
Yeah.
But I mean, is there anything you want to say to anyone out there that doesn't know about Skeletonwitch yet? Which is shame on you if you don't.
If you don't know about us, check us out. Obviously, the internet is a magical place. You can within 5 seconds be listening to a Skeletonwitch song if you so desire. For those who do know us, thank you. I appreciate your support. Everyone else in the band does. Trust me, I hang out with those guys a lot. They don't take it lightly that we get to do this for a living and that we're out here touring and traveling the world. So anything you've done to support us is greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Well, this has been Scott from Skeletonwitch. You've been watching
and Jimmy
from That One Metal Blog. You've been watching
That One Metal Blog.